I forgot my phone at the restaurant. Not dramatic, not a setup, just the kind of stupid thing you do when you're 62 and your mind is somewhere else during dinner. The place was called Marino's. Small Italian joint on the east side, red checkered tablecloths, candles and wine bottles, the whole cliche. My son Derek had picked it, said we needed to talk, said it was important. Brought his wife along too. Jennifer, that's her name. 28, blonde, the kind of smile that doesn't reach anywhere near her eyes. She teaches yoga and talks about energy fields and has never liked me, not from day one. We sat in the corner. Quiet spot, almost empty on a Tuesday night. Just us and maybe 2 other tables way across the room. Derek ordered for everyone before I could even look at the menu. Dad doesn't mind, right, Dad? Big smile, patting my shoulder like I'm a golden retriever. I minded, but I didn't say anything. That's been my role lately, the quiet one. The one who nods and smiles and pretends not to notice when his son and daughter-in-law exchange those little looks. The kind that says they're having a whole conversation I'm not part of. Jennifer did most of the talking. Something about a retreat in Colorado, some wellness thing, very important for their growth as a couple. I nodded, ate my pasta, wondered why they needed me here for this. Then Derek leaned in. We've been thinking about your situation, Dad. My situation, like I'm a problem that needs solving. You're alone in that big house, Jennifer added, her hand on Derek's arm. Perfect nails. It's a lot of space for one person. My wife died 3 years ago. Cancer. Ruthless and fast. 6 months from diagnosis to funeral. The house had been ours for 31 years. Every room had her fingerprints on it. Her laugh in the walls. Her coffee cup still in the cabinet because I couldn't make myself throw it away. I manage fine, I said. Derek smiled. That patient smile. The one that says he's already decided and he's just waiting for me to catch up. We're just concerned. That's all. You're getting older. Things happen. Things happen. I looked at him. Really looked. When did he start talking to me like this? Like I'm senile? I built houses for 40 years. Ran my own crew. Did the math in my head faster than most guys could with a calculator. My back's shot and my knees sound like gravel in a blender, but my brain works fine. I appreciate the concern, I said, kept my voice level. But I'm good. Jennifer's smile got tighter. We're just trying to help. The waitress came by then. Young, maybe 25, dark hair pulled back. She'd been hovering near our table most of the night, refilling water glasses that were still full, checking if we needed anything. Something about her made me think she was listening. She cleared our plates, asked about dessert. Derek waved her off without looking at her. We should get going, he said, standing up. Jennifer already had her purse. I reached for my wallet, but Derek put his hand up. I got it, Dad. My treat. They walked me to my truck, hugged me, said they'd call soon, drove off in their Audi before I even got my keys out. That's when I realized. Phone. Left it on the table. I turned around, walked back across the parking lot. The lights were still on inside, but the sign said closed. I could see the waitress moving around, wiping down tables. I knocked on the glass door. She looked up, saw me, and her face did something I didn't expect. She looked scared. Not startled. Scared. She came to the door but didn't open it. We're closed. I know. I'm sorry. I left my phone on the table. Corner booth. I'll just grab it and go. She stared at me through the glass, her hand on the lock. For a second I thought she'd send me away. Come back tomorrow. But then she unlocked the door, opened it just enough for me to slip through. Which table? She asked. But she already knew. She was looking at the corner booth. That one. She didn't move, just stood there. The door locked again behind me. The dining room felt different now, bigger. The shadows from the candles stretched across the walls. The other tables were all cleared and reset. Only ours still had everything on it. Napkins, water glasses. My phone sitting right where I'd left it. I started walking toward it. Wait, she said. I stopped, turned around. She was biting her lip. Looking at the table, then at me, then at something above the table, a small black dome in the ceiling. Security camera. I need to show you something, she said. Her voice was shaking. But you have to promise me you won't pass out. My heart kicked in my chest. What? The camera. She pointed up. It records audio, too. Everything. We had a problem last year with a lawsuit, so the owner installed the good ones, the ones that catch everything. I didn't understand. Okay. Your son and his wife. She swallowed. After you went to the bathroom, They did something. The room tilted. Just a degree. Just enough to make me grab the nearest chair. What did they do? She looked at me. Really looked at me. And I saw it then. Pity. The kind you give to someone whose whole world is about to detonate. Come upstairs, she said. I'll show you. The office was small, barely bigger than a closet. Desk covered in papers and a desktop computer that looked like it was from 2005. She pulled up a second chair and I sat down. My hands were shaking. I put them in my lap so she wouldn't see. She clicked through files. Found the date. Tonight. Our table. The camera had a perfect angle. Top-down view. You could see everything. Our plates. Our faces when we looked up. My phone sitting on the table near my water glass. Here, she said. She dragged the timeline forward, stopped it. You got up at 7:43 to use the restroom. I watched myself stand up on the screen, walk away, disappear off camera. For 10 seconds, nothing happened. Derek and Jennifer just sat there, talking quietly. I couldn't hear the audio yet. The waitress had it muted. Then Derek looked around. Quick scan of the room, making sure no one was watching. He reached across the table, picked up my phone. Wait, I said. What's he? Just watch. Jennifer leaned in. They both looked at the screen. Derek's thumb moved, swiping, typing. His face was focused, intent, like he was looking for something specific. They talked. Quick words. Jennifer pointed at something on the screen. Derek nodded, scrolled more, stopped, read something, showed it to Jennifer. She smiled. Not a happy smile, a gotcha smile. Derek put the phone down, right back where it had been. Perfect placement. They sat back, picked up their forks, started eating again like nothing had happened. 15 seconds later, I walked back into frame, sat down, picked up my fork. I had no idea. The waitress stopped the video. There's more, she said quietly. Do you want to hear what they said? I couldn't speak. My throat had closed up. I just nodded. She turned on the audio, dragged the timeline back to where Derek picked up the phone. Pressed play. Derek's voice came through the speaker, quiet but clear. Okay, he's gone. Give me 30 seconds. Jennifer. Is it unlocked? Derek. Yeah. Same password as always. Idiot never changes anything. Sounds of swiping, tapping. Jennifer. What are you looking for? Derek. Bank apps, emails, anything about the house title. He said he updated his will last month, but I want to make sure. My vision blurred. The room swam. Jennifer. Find anything? Derek. Hold on. Yeah. Here, email from his lawyer, estate planning documents. He's leaving everything to... Pause. You've got to be kidding me. Jennifer. What? Derek. Half to me, the other half to some wildlife foundation, some charity mom used to donate to. Jennifer's laugh. Sharp, mean. Are you serious? Derek. I'm handling this. We'll talk to him again next week. Turn up the pressure. He's already falling apart. Give it 2 months and he'll sign whatever we put in front of him. Jennifer. He better. That house is worth at least $700,000. I'm not splitting that with a bunch of squirrels. Derek. Relax. He's weak. You saw him tonight. Can barely hold a conversation. By Christmas, he'll be in some assisted living place and will have power of attorney. Jennifer. Make sure. I'm not waiting around for him to... The audio cut. I was back on screen, sitting down, smiling, clueless. The waitress stopped the video, turned to look at me. I couldn't breathe. My son, my only child, the kid I taught to ride a bike, paid for college, helped buy his first car, stood next to at his wedding, even though I knew Jennifer was wrong for him. That kid just called me weak, an idiot, something to manage and manipulate and pressure until I break. Sir? The waitress's voice, distant, like she was underwater. The chair under me felt wrong, too small. The walls were closing in. I put my head between my knees, tried to pull air into my lungs. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't know if I should tell you, but if someone did that to my dad, I'd want him to know. I lifted my head, looked at her. Why are you showing me this? Because they're not good people. She said it flat, simple. I waited on them before. Different restaurant. About 6 months ago. They treated the staff like dirt. Sent back food 3 times just to watch us scramble. Didn't tip. And the whole time they were talking about some investment property and how they were going to screw over the previous owner on the contract. She shook her head. I remembered them. When they came in tonight, I knew something was off. Can I get a copy of this? My voice sounded hollow. She hesitated. I could get in trouble. Please. She looked at me for a long moment, then nodded. Give me your email. I'll send it from a dummy account. No names. If anyone asks, you never got it from me. I gave her my email. She typed it in, hit send. A few seconds later, my phone buzzed in my pocket. There it was, the video file. 47 seconds that burned my entire relationship with my son down to ash. Thank you, I managed. I'm sorry, she said again. I stood up, legs shaky, walked down the stairs. She unlocked the front door and let me out. The cold air hit my face and I realized I was crying. 62 years old, crying in a restaurant parking lot. I got in my truck, sat there, couldn't make myself turn the key. My wife's voice in my head, clear as day, like she was sitting in the passenger seat. So, what are you going to do about it? Helen, my wife. She never let anything slide, never backed down. If someone wronged her, she didn't cry, she didn't collapse. She got even, smart, calculated, ruthless when she needed to be. I could almost see her, arms crossed, that look on her face, the one that said I better not roll over and die. What would you do? I asked out loud, talking to a ghost. Her answer came through anyway, in my head, in her voice. I'd make them pay. I wiped my face, started the truck, pulled out of the parking lot. The drive home took 20 minutes. Suburbs to the west side, streetlights, empty roads. Rain started halfway there, light drizzle that turned the windshield into a kaleidoscope of color. I didn't turn on the radio, just drove, thinking. Derek thought I was weak, falling apart, easy to manipulate. Jennifer thought I was a paycheck, a property deed with a pulse. They were wrong. I built houses for 40 years. You don't survive in that world by being soft. You learn to read people, see the lie before they finish telling it, know when someone's trying to screw you on a contract. I'd dealt with crooked inspectors and shady subcontractors and clients who thought they could bully me into free work. I knew how to fight back, and I knew how to plan. By the time I pulled into my driveway, I'd made a decision. Not emotional, not revenge in the stupid, blow-up-your-own-life kind of way. Something colder, smarter. They wanted me weak? I'd give them weak, let them think they were winning, let them get comfortable, confident, and then I'd pull the floor out from under them. No police, no lawyers, no messy family drama where everyone picks sides and nothing changes. Just me, and the truth, and the patience to wait for exactly the right moment. I walked into my house, threw my keys on the counter, poured 2 fingers of whiskey into a glass, and sat down at the kitchen table. My phone sat in front of me. I opened the video file the waitress sent, watched it again and again, memorizing every word, every look, every smile, Derek's voice. He's weak. You saw him tonight? I took a drink. The whiskey burned. Not anymore, I said to the empty room. Then I opened my laptop and started making a list. Before we continue, hit the hype button, subscribe, and like the video to help the channel grow. Tell us which city you are from in the comments. We'd love to get to know our audience better. The list started simple. Facts, timelines, patterns. I opened a new document. Typed at the top, what I know. Derek and Jennifer wanted control of my house. Wanted me in assisted living. Wanted power of attorney. They mentioned Christmas. That gave me a timeline. 3 months. Maybe less. They'd been planning this. You don't just improvise that kind of conversation. They had a strategy. Steps. Pressure points. I needed to know what those were. Second list. What I need. Information, their schedules, their routines, who they talked to, where they went, what they were doing that required $700,000 so badly they'd sabotage their own father. I couldn't hire a private investigator. Too obvious, too traceable. Derek would find out, and then I'd lose the only advantage I had. Surprise. So I'd do it myself. Third list. People I trust. I stared at the empty space under that header for a long time. Helen was gone. I had a brother in Nevada, but we hadn't spoken in 8 years. Some fight about money I couldn't even remember anymore. Friends from work had scattered after I retired. Moved away, died, faded into holiday card acquaintances. Derek had been my person, the one I called when something broke, when I needed help, when I just wanted to talk. That was gone now. I closed the laptop, poured another drink, sat in the dark kitchen until 2 a.m. The next morning, I called in sick to my volunteer gig at the community center. Told them I had a cold, needed a few days. They said no problem. Feel better. Then I drove to Derek's neighborhood. He lived in Oak Hills, new development, Big houses crammed onto small lots. HOA rules and identical mailboxes and sprinkler systems that ran on timers. The kind of place where everyone waves, but nobody knows your name. I parked 3 blocks away, walked in, ball cap pulled low. Just another old guy out for a morning walk. Derek's house was at the end of a cul-de-sac. 2-story, gray siding, black shutters. Jennifer's Audi in the driveway. Derek's truck was gone. He worked construction management. Usually left by 7. I walked past, slow, didn't stop, didn't stare. Just an old man walking his invisible dog. Across the street was a pocket park. Little playground. Couple of benches. I sat down, pulled out my phone like I was checking messages. Angled it so I could see their house. Jennifer came out at 9:15, yoga pants, tank top, gym bag over her shoulder. She backed the Audi out and drove off. I waited 10 minutes, made sure she wasn't coming back. Then I walked to the corner and called Derek's number. He answered on the 3rd ring. "Hey, Dad, what's up?" I forced my voice to sound tired, a little confused. "Hey, kiddo, I think I lost my insurance card. You remember where I keep those?" Filing cabinet in your office?" Right, sorry, brain's foggy today." Pause. I could hear him smile through the phone. "You okay, Dad?" "Yeah, just tired, didn't sleep great." "You should see a doctor about that. Could be sleep apnea." "Maybe, I'll think about it." "All right, well, take care of yourself." "Will do. Love you." "Love you too, Dad." I hung up, felt sick. He sounded normal, caring, concerned, like he wasn't actively planning to destroy my life. That's what made it worse. He was good at it. The fake warmth, the pretend love. I walked back to my truck, drove home, pulled up my bank account on the computer. Nothing unusual. No weird charges. No transfers I didn't recognize. But I changed all my passwords anyway. Bank, email, phone, everything. Made them random. Letters and numbers. Wrote them down in a notebook I kept in my desk drawer. Then I checked my will. The one Derek had seen in my email, it was real. Half to Derek, half to the Western Wildlife Foundation, Helen's favorite charity. She donated every year. After she died, I kept it going. They sent me a newsletter every quarter with updates on what they were doing. Habitat restoration, endangered species. Good work. Derek called it squirrels. I sat there, staring at the will, thinking. If I changed it now, he'd know something was wrong. He'd seen it. Probably screenshotted it. Any deviation would tip him off. So I left it. For now. But I opened a new account. Different bank. Transferred $20,000 into it. Cash I could move if I needed to. They'd never know. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. "Hello? Mr. Brennan?" Woman's voice. Professional. "Yes?" "This is Sandra Voss from Peak Senior Living. Your son Derek reached out to us about a consultation. We help families transition their loved ones into assisted care facilities. I was hoping we could set up a time to talk." My hand tightened on the phone. "I'm sorry. Who did you say referred you?" "Derek Brennan, your son. He mentioned you were living alone and might benefit from some support." "I see. When did he contact you?" "Last week. He filled out an inquiry form on our website." "Last week, before the dinner?" This wasn't new. This wasn't spontaneous. He'd been working this angle for a while. "I appreciate the call," I said, kept my voice calm, "but I'm not interested right now." "Of course, no pressure. But if you'd like some information?" "No, thank you." I hung up, sat there, breathing. Last week. He'd been planning this for at least a week, probably longer. How long had he been searching my phone, going through my emails, checking my accounts? How long had I been the target and didn't even know it? I opened my email, searched for Derek's name, found dozens of messages. Normal stuff. "Hey, Dad, can you help me move this weekend? Want to grab lunch? Check out this article." But now I was looking at them differently, reading between the lines, one from 3 weeks ago. "Hey, Dad, I was talking to a financial advisor, and he mentioned some good estate planning strategies for people your age. Want me to send you his info?" I'd said no. Told him I already had a lawyer. He'd pushed back, said his guy was better, more specialized. I'd ignored it. Now I saw it. The setup. Get me to his financial advisor. Someone Derek could control. Someone who'd push me toward whatever documents they wanted signed. Another email, 2 months ago. "Dad, I noticed your front steps are looking rough. Want me to come by and fix them? I know a contractor who could do it cheap." The steps were fine. A little worn, but structurally sound. I'd built them myself. But if I'd said yes, if his contractor came out, what would they have found? Suddenly everything's a hazard. Unsafe. Code violations. You can't live here alone. It's dangerous. I leaned back in my chair, closed my eyes. How many times had he done this? How many small moves? Little pushes? Testing to see what I'd allow. And I'd let him. Because he was my son. Because I trusted him. That was over now. I spent the rest of the day going through my files, physical and digital, looking for anything Derek might have touched, changed, influenced. Found a document I didn't remember signing. Power of attorney form, blank. Just my signature at the bottom. Dated 6 months ago. I stared at it. No memory of signing it. But there it was. My signature. Witnessed by someone named K. Palmer. I didn't know a K. Palmer. I called my lawyer. Small firm, guy named Ed Marsh. I'd used him for years. Wills, property stuff. Good guy. Ed, it's Paul Brennan. Paul, hey, what can I do for you? Did I sign a power of attorney form in your office about 6 months ago? Silence. No. Why? I found one in my files, my signature. Witnessed by a K. Palmer, dated April 18th. That wasn't us. We'd have a copy if you did it here. Who's K. Palmer? No idea. You need to find out. Someone witnessed you signing a legal document and you don't remember it. That's a problem. Yeah. Want me to look into it? Not yet. Let me ask around first. All right. But Paul, be careful. If someone's forging your signature, I'll handle it. I hung up. April 18th. 6 months ago. Derek's birthday was April 20th. We'd had dinner at his house. Just the three of us. I'd brought a gift, tools, nice set. Expensive. We'd had wine. A lot of wine. Jennifer kept refilling my glass. I'd felt foggy that night. Tired. Went home early. What if I'd signed it then? Drunk. Not paying attention. Derek puts a paper in front of me. Says it's a birthday card, or a thank you note, or something harmless. I sign. He witnesses it, or has Jennifer do it using a fake name. Now he has a power of attorney form with my real signature. All he needs is to fill in the details and get it notarized. Then he controls everything. I put the document in my desk drawer, locked it. Then I searched my house, every room, every drawer, looking for anything else I didn't remember, anything he might have planted or taken. Found nothing. But that didn't mean it wasn't there. At 5 p.m., Derek called. Hey, Dad, just checking in. You doing okay? Fine. Why? You sounded off this morning. I wanted to make sure you're all right. I'm good, just tired. Are you sure? Because if you need anything... I'm fine, Derek. Pause. Okay, well, let me know if you change your mind. Will do. I hung up before he could say anything else. Sat there, phone in my hand, heart pounding. He was checking on me, making sure I was still weak, still manageable. I needed to give him what he expected, so I called him back. Derek, sorry, I didn't mean to be short. It's okay, Dad. What's up? I've been thinking about what you and Jennifer said, about the house, about maybe getting some help. Silence, then careful excitement in his voice. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, it is a lot of space, and I'm not getting any younger. Right. Exactly. We're not trying to pressure you. We just want what's best. I know. I appreciate it. I forced my voice to crack a little. It's just hard. Your mom loved this place. I know, Dad, but she'd want you to be safe, to be taken care of. Would she? Helen would have burned this house to the ground before letting Derek manipulate me out of it. But I didn't say that. Maybe we could look at some options, I said. No commitments. Just see what's out there. Absolutely. I'll set something up. There's a great place called Peak Senior Living. Really nice. Let me see if they can do a tour. There it was. Peak Senior Living. The same place that called me today. Okay, I said. Let me know. I will. Thanks, Dad. This is the right move. I promise. I hung up. Felt dirty. But it worked. He thought he was winning. Thought I was falling in line. Good. Let him think that. That night I drove back to Derek's neighborhood, parked in a different spot. Watched the house. Lights on in the living room. Movement through the windows. Derek and Jennifer, sitting on the couch, talking. I couldn't hear them, but I didn't need to. I knew what they were saying. Celebrating. Dad's finally coming around. We're almost there. At 9 p.m., they turned off the lights. Upstairs bedroom lights came on, then off. I waited another hour, then drove home. I did the same thing the next night. and the night after that. Learned their patterns. Derek left at 7 a.m., home by 6 p.m. Jennifer left at 9 a.m., sometimes came back at noon, sometimes not until 3 p.m. Thursday nights they went out, dinner and drinks, home by 10 p.m. I started making notes. Times, locations, who they met with. On Thursday, I followed Jennifer. She drove to a law office downtown, went inside, stayed for an hour, came out with a folder. I wrote down the name of the firm, looked them up later. Estate planning specialists. She was talking to lawyers about my estate. Saturday, Derek called. Hey, Dad, good news. Peak Senior Living can do a tour on Monday at 10 a.m. Want me to pick you up? Sure. Great. It's going to be good. You'll see. Monday morning, he showed up at 9:30. I was waiting on the porch, jacket on, trying to look older than I felt. Slower. He smiled. Big hug. Ready? Ready as I'll be. We drove to Peak Senior Living. Nice facility, suburban, lots of windows, landscaping, looked expensive. The tour guide was a woman named Brenda, 50-something, professional smile. She shook my hand and led us through the building. Private rooms, communal dining, activity center, physical therapy, everything you'd need to live out your final years in comfort and control. Because that's what these places were. You signed over your assets. They managed your care, and your family got peace of mind knowing you were somewhere safe, somewhere they could visit once a month and feel good about themselves. Derek asked questions about costs, about contracts, about what happened if I needed more care down the road. Brenda had answers for everything, smooth, practiced. We also offer memory care, she said, looking at me with that sympathetic smile, if cognitive decline becomes an issue. I nodded, smiled, played the part. But inside I was burning. Memory care, cognitive decline. They were already planning for it, already setting up the narrative. Dad's losing it. He needs help. He can't live alone. We finished the tour. Brenda gave us brochures, shook my hand again. What do you think? Derek asked as we walked to the car. It's nice, I said. A lot to think about. Take your time. No rush. Liar. He drove me home, walked me to the door. Another hug. I'm proud of you, Dad. This is a big step. I watched him drive away. Then I went inside, locked the door, and smiled. Because while Derek thought he was leading me into a trap, I just learned something valuable. Peak Senior Living required a deposit. $50,000. Non-refundable. Derek was pushing me here because he'd already paid it, using what money I didn't know, but he'd invested in this. Committed. Which meant he was locked in. Predictable. And that's exactly what I needed. Derek called that night. 11 p.m. Late for him. Hey, Dad. Sorry to bother you. What's up? I was just thinking. About the house. About selling it. And I realized we should probably get everything in order first, legally. What do you mean? Like, make sure the title's clear. No liens, no outstanding issues. You know. The title's fine. I know. But just to be safe. Maybe we should have a lawyer look at it. I have a lawyer. Right. But maybe a second opinion. Someone who specializes in real estate. Why? Pause. Just to make sure we don't run into problems down the road. Derek, what's going on? Nothing. I'm just trying to be thorough. You've never been thorough in your life. He laughed, but it sounded forced. Okay, fine. I'm just nervous. This is a big sale. I want to make sure we do it right. We? You know what I mean? I let the silence sit. Let him sweat. I'll think about it, I said finally. Okay, thanks, Dad. Sleep well. He hung up. I stared at the phone. He was scrambling, trying to cover his tracks, make sure nothing came back on him, which meant he knew I was on to something. Good. The next morning I went to see Ed Marsh, my lawyer, brought the power of attorney form and Martin Pierce's report. Ed read through it, face getting darker with every line. This is bad, Paul. I know. If Derek tries to file this, you're in trouble. Even with this report, it'll take time to fight it, and in the meantime, he could do a lot of damage. So what do I do? Revoke it. File a formal revocation with the county. Make it clear you never authorized this. Will that work? It'll help. But if he's already made copies, already shown it to banks or care facilities, they might not know it's revoked. So I'm screwed. Ed leaned back in his chair. Not necessarily. You could go on offense. File a police report, fraud, forgery. Let them investigate. And if I do that, Derek finds out, and he disappears. takes whatever evidence he has with him. Maybe he panics and makes a mistake. I thought about it. Shook my head. Not yet. I need more time. How much more time? I don't know. A week, 2. I'm close to something. I can feel it. Ed sighed. Paul, I've known you a long time, and I've never seen you like this. Like what? Angry, focused, dangerous. He tried to steal my life. I know, but don't let this consume you. Don't let it turn you into someone you're not. I stood up. I'm exactly who I've always been. I just stopped pretending I wasn't. I walked out, drove home, sat in my truck. Ed was wrong. This wasn't about anger. It wasn't about revenge. It was about justice, about making things right. And I was going to see it through, no matter what. That afternoon, I went back to Derek's neighborhood, parked down the street, watched the house. Jennifer left at 2 p.m. Gym bag, yoga pants, gone for an hour. Derek's truck wasn't there, still at work. I waited until 3 p.m. Then I walked to the house, rang the doorbell. No answer. I tried the door, locked, walked around back. The gate was latched but not locked. I opened it, stepped into the backyard, sliding glass door. I tried it, locked. But the window next to it was cracked, just an inch. Enough to let air in. I pushed it, it slid open. I stood there, heart pounding. This was breaking and entering. This was illegal. But I didn't care. I climbed through the window, landed in the living room, stood still, listening. Nothing. Empty house. I moved fast, went to Derek's office. Small room off the kitchen, desk, filing cabinet, computer. I opened the filing cabinet, pulled out folders, scanned through them, bills, receipts, taxes, nothing useful. Then I found a folder labeled Estate Planning. I pulled it out, opened it. Inside were copies of documents, my will, my bank statements, property deeds, and a document I'd never seen before, a contract between Derek and Peak Senior Living, dated 3 months ago. Deposit paid, $50,000, room reserved, for me. Starting January 1st, 3 months ago, before the dinner, before any of this. He'd planned it, locked it in, decided my future without asking me. I took pictures with my phone, every page, every line. Then I heard a car door slam. I froze. Voices outside, Jennifer, and someone else. I shoved the folder back, closed the filing cabinet, moved toward the window. The front door opened. I didn't have time, couldn't make it to the window without being seen. I ducked into the hallway, pressed myself against the wall. Jennifer's voice. Just set it on the counter. A man's voice. You want me to wait? No, I'll handle it. Thanks. The door closed. Footsteps. Jennifer moving through the house. I held my breath. She went into the kitchen, opened the fridge, poured something, drank. Then she walked toward the office. I was trapped. No way out without her seeing me. I looked around. Bathroom to my left. Door open. I slipped inside, closed the door, stood behind it. Her footsteps stopped. Right outside. I heard her sigh, then move into the office, shuffling papers. I waited. Seconds felt like hours. Then her phone rang. Hey, babe, she answered. Derek. Yeah, I'm home, just grabbing some files. Pause. No, why? Pause. He's fine. Quit worrying. Pause. I'll be there in 20. She hung up. Footsteps moving back toward the kitchen. The front door opened, closed, car engine, driving away. I waited 5 minutes, then slipped out of the bathroom. Back to the living room, out the window, across the yard, through the gate. I didn't run, walked normal. Like I was just out for a stroll, got to my truck, got in, drove away. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely hold the wheel, but I'd done it. I'd been in their house, seen the proof. They'd planned this for months, paid for it, committed to it, and they'd done it all behind my back. I drove to a park, sat on a bench, pulled out my phone, looked at the pictures, the contract, the payment, the timeline. This was it. This was the leverage I needed, not to fight them in court, but to destroy them. Because if I showed this to the right people, if I made it public, their reputation would collapse, Derek's job, Jennifer's social circle, everything. I just needed to figure out how to use it, and when. That night, I couldn't sleep. Again, lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, planning. I'd been reacting, defending, gathering evidence. But it was time to go on offense. Time to make them feel what I felt. fear, betrayal, the ground shifting under their feet. I got up, went to my office, opened my laptop, started writing, not a letter, not a message, a plan, step by step, exactly what I was going to do. And when. It took me 3 hours. By the time I finished, the sun was coming up. I read through it. Twice. Made sure it was solid. Then I saved it, printed it, locked it in my desk, and smiled. Because Derek and Jennifer thought they were the hunters. But they were wrong. They were the prey. And I was about to show them what happens when you corner something you think is weak. I gave them 3 days. Let them relax. Let them think they were safe. Derek called twice. Casual check-ins. How you doing, Dad? Feeling okay? Need anything? I played it normal. Tired but fine. Still thinking about the house. Taking my time. He sounded relieved, like I'd stepped back from whatever edge I'd been on. Good. On Thursday, I made my move. I called the storage facility. Asked to speak to the manager. This is Dan. How can I help you? Hi, my name's Paul Brennan. My daughter-in-law rents a unit there. Jennifer Brennan, Unit 247. Okay. I was supposed to pick something up for her last week, but I couldn't get in. Security guard said I wasn't on the authorized list. Right, that's standard. Only people on the rental agreement can access the unit. I understand, but she's out of town and she really needs something from there. Is there any way I could get temporary access? Not without her permission. She'd need to call and authorize it. She's in a retreat. No phone access. It's kind of an emergency. Pause. What kind of emergency? I thought fast. Medical documents. She needs them for an appointment tomorrow. I'm trying to help her out. He sighed. I can't just let you in. It's against policy. I understand. But is there any way you could check with her? I have her email. I can try, but if she doesn't respond, I can't do anything. Fair enough. I appreciate it. I gave him Jennifer's email. Hung up. Then I waited. If Jennifer was smart, she'd ignore it. Let it go. But if she was nervous, if she thought I was onto something, she'd respond, and she'd make a mistake. 2 hours later, my phone rang. Jennifer. Paul, hi. I got a weird call from the storage place. They said you were trying to get into my unit. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Derek mentioned you had some old photo albums stored there. From Helen. I thought maybe I could grab them. Photo albums? Yeah. He said you were keeping them safe for me. Pause. Too long. I don't have photo albums. Oh, my mistake. Must have misunderstood. Yeah, must have. Silence. So what do you have in there? I asked. Casual, innocent. Just stuff, seasonal decorations, old furniture, nothing important. Well, sorry to bother you. It's fine. Just next time check with me first, okay? Will do? She hung up. I smiled. She was rattled. I could hear it in her voice. And now she knew I'd tried to get into the unit, which meant she'd be wondering why, what I was looking for, what I knew. That night Derek called. Dad, Jennifer said you called about her storage unit. Yeah, sorry. I thought she had some of Mom's things there. She doesn't. I know, I was confused. Confused, right. He didn't sound convinced. Why were you looking for Mom's things? I wasn't looking. I just thought, I don't know. Forget it. Dad, are you okay? I'm fine. You sure? Because you've been acting weird lately. Weird how? I don't know. Secretive, distracted, like something's bothering you. Nothing's bothering me. Then why are you asking about storage units? Why are you talking to document analysts? What's going on? There it was, the real question. I'm just getting my affairs in order, I said, like you wanted. By hiring a forensic analyst? He's not forensic. He's just a consultant. For what? Estate planning, making sure everything's legal. Why wouldn't it be legal? I don't know, Derek. You tell me. Silence, long and heavy. What's that supposed to mean? He asked, but his voice was tight. Nothing. I'm just being careful. You said I should be thorough, so I'm being thorough. By investigating your own documents? Is that a problem? No, it's just weird. You keep saying that. Because it's true. I let the silence sit again. Let him stew in it. I'm going to bed, I said finally. Good night, Derek. Wait, Dad. I hung up, sat there, phone in my hand. He was panicking. I could hear it, feel it through the line. Good. Now I just needed to push harder. The next day I went to Peak Senior Living, walked in, asked to speak to Brenda. She came out, smiled. "Mr. Brennan, good to see you. Are you here for another tour?" "No, I'm here to ask about the deposit my son paid." Her smile faltered. "I'm sorry?" "Derek Brennan, my son. He paid a deposit for a room, $50,000. I want to know when he paid it and what the terms were." I can't discuss financial details without authorization. He used my money. That makes it my business. I understand, but our policy... Your policy doesn't matter if the deposit was fraudulent. She blinked. Fraudulent? I never authorized that payment. If he used my accounts or my information without permission, that's fraud. I need to check with my manager. You do that. She disappeared into the back. I stood there, waiting. 5 minutes later, she came back. Manager with her. Older guy, suit. "Name tag," said Gerald. "Mr. Brennan, I'm Gerald Foster. How can I help you?" "I want to know about the deposit Derek Brennan paid, and I want proof that he had authorization to use my information." Gerald's face went carefully neutral. "I'm afraid I can't share client information without proper authorization." "Then get it, because if you can't prove he had my permission, I'm going to assume he committed fraud, and I'll be filing a police report." "Sir, I'm sure there's been a misunderstanding." "There's no misunderstanding. Either he had my permission or he didn't." "Which is it?" Gerald looked at Brenda, back at me. "Let me pull the file. Give me a moment." He disappeared, came back with a folder, opened it. The deposit was paid on August 12th, by check, signed by Derek Brennan. "From what account?" "I don't have that information." "Was my name on the check?" He looked. "No, just his." "Then how did he pay $50,000? What's his source of funds?" I don't know. That's not something we typically verify." "You should, because if he's stealing from me to pay for this, I'm going to make sure you're held liable." Gerald's face went pale. "I'm sure that's not the case." "Then prove it." I'll need to consult with our legal team." "You do that, and while you're at it, tell them I'm revoking any and all agreements associated with my name, effective immediately." "Sir, do you understand?" He nodded. "Yes." "Good." I turned, walked out, got in my truck, drove away. My heart was pounding, adrenaline flooding my system, but I'd done it. I'd put them on notice, made it clear I wasn't backing down, and now Gerald would call Derek, tell him what happened, and Derek would know. I was coming for him. That night Derek showed up at my house. Didn't call, didn't text, just showed up. I opened the door. He was standing there, face red, jaw tight. "What the hell, Dad?" "Come in." He pushed past me, into the living room, turned on me. "You went to Peak Senior Living? You threatened them?" "I ask questions. There's a difference. You accused me of fraud." "Did I? Or did I just ask where the money came from?" "You know where it came from. I paid it." "With what money?" "My money." $50,000? You just had that lying around?" He stopped, breathing hard. "That's what I thought," I said. "I took out a loan." "For my care, without asking me." "Because you wouldn't have agreed." "Exactly. So you went behind my back, made decisions for me, like I'm not capable." "You're not capable. You can barely take care of yourself." I stared at him. "Get out." "What?" "Get out. Dad. Now." He looked at me, really looked, and I saw it. The moment he realized I wasn't backing down, wasn't going to roll over. "Fine," he said, "but don't come crying to me when you fall and break your hip and there's no one there to help you." "I won't." He walked to the door, stopped, turned back. "You're making a mistake." "Maybe, but it's my mistake to make." He left, slammed the door. I stood there, shaking, not from fear, from rage. He'd admitted it, took out a loan, without asking, without permission. And when I confronted him, he didn't apologize. Didn't back down. He doubled down, blamed me. I went to my office, pulled out the plan I'd written, crossed off step 1. Make them panic. Moved to step 2. Force them into the open. This was it, the end game, and I was ready. The next morning I called Vincent. "I need a favor." "What kind?" "The kind you don't ask questions about." Pause. "I'm listening." "Can you access financial records, bank statements, loan applications, that kind of thing?" "Legally?" "Preferably." He laughed. "Paul, what are you into?" "Something I need to finish." "Is this about your son?" "Yeah." "And you want me to dig into his finances?" "Yes." Silence. Then, "I know a guy, former forensic accountant. Work's private now, but it's expensive. And if Derek finds out, he won't. Can you set it up? I'll make some calls. But Paul, be careful. Once you go down this road, there's no turning back. I know. You sure about this? I've never been more sure of anything in my life. He sighed. All right, I'll call you back. He did. 2 hours later. Gave me a name and number. Guy named Rick Henson. I called him. Explained what I needed. I can do it, Rick said. But it'll take time and money. $2,000 up front. More if I find something complicated. How long? Week. Maybe 2. Do it. I met him that afternoon. Coffee shop downtown. Gave him everything I had. Derek's full name, address, social security number, Jennifer's information too. Rick took notes. Didn't ask why, just wrote it all down. I'll call you when I have something. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. I left, drove home, waited. Waiting was the hardest part. Not knowing, not being able to do anything. But I used the time, kept watching, kept following, learned their patterns even better. Derek left for work at 7 a.m., home by 6:30 p.m. Jennifer's schedule was more erratic. Yoga, errands, lunch with friends. But on Tuesdays, she went somewhere else. Different location every week. Coffee shops, parks, public libraries. And she always met the same person. A man, 40-something, suit, briefcase. They'd talk for an hour. He'd show her papers. She'd sign things. Then they'd leave separately. I followed him once, back to a law office. Same one I'd seen before. Estate planning specialists. Jennifer was working with a lawyer, without Derek, which meant she had her own plan, or she was covering her tracks. Either way, it was leverage. I took pictures. Every meeting, every document exchange, built a timeline. 10 days later, Rick called. I found something. What? Can't talk over the phone. Meet me, same place, 1 hour. I was there in 40 minutes. Rick was waiting, folder in front of him. He slid it across the table. You were right. Your son's dirty. I opened it. Pages of financial records, bank statements, loan documents. Start at the top, Rick said. 3 months ago, Derek took out a personal loan, $50,000. Claimed it was for home improvements. But it wasn't. Nope. Went straight to Peak Senior Living. Deposit for your care? Can you prove it? Already did. Transaction records right there. I flipped through. Saw it. Check written to Peak Senior Living. Derek's signature. That's fraud, Rick said. Lying on a loan application. But that's not the interesting part. What's the interesting part? The loan was co-signed by Jennifer, and the collateral they used was your house. I stopped. My house? Yep, they claimed joint ownership, used the property value to secure the loan. But they don't own my house. I know, that's why it's fraud. They forged the ownership documents, made it look like you transferred the title to Derek. My hands were shaking. How? Power of attorney. They filed the forged form with the county, used it to transfer the title, then used the title as collateral. When? 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks. They'd stolen my house 6 weeks ago, and I didn't even know. Can I fix it? I asked. Maybe, but it'll take time. You'll need to prove the power of attorney was forged. Challenge the title transfer. Sue the bank for accepting fraudulent collateral. It's messy. How messy? Months, maybe years, and expensive. I sat back, breathing hard. They'd stolen my house, my home, the place Helen and I built our life, and they'd used it as collateral to fund a plan to lock me away. There's more, Rick said. More? He pulled out another document. Jennifer's been moving money, a lot of money, into offshore accounts. Started about a year ago. How much? 200,000, maybe more. Hard to track once it leaves the country. Where's it coming from? Derek's accounts. His business accounts. He's been skimming, small amounts at a time, routing it through Jennifer's personal accounts, then offshore. Why? Rick shrugged. Could be tax evasion. Could be hiding assets for a divorce. Could be planning to disappear. With my money. If they get control of your estate, yeah, that's the play. I closed the folder, stared at it. What are you going to do? Rick asked. I don't know yet. You could go to the police, file charges. This is fraud, theft. They'd go to jail. And I'd spend the rest of my life in court, watching them appeal, getting out early, moving on with their lives. So what's the alternative? I looked at him. I make them pay, my way. He stared at me, then nodded. Just don't do anything that'll blow back on me. You were never here. Damn right. I paid him. Took the folder, left, drove to a park, sat on a bench, opened the folder again, read through every page, memorizing. They'd stolen my house, forged my signature, moved my money, and they thought they'd get away with it. I pulled out my phone, called Derek. Hey, Dad, what's up? We need to talk. Okay, about what? Everything. Pause. What's that mean? It means I know, and it's time to settle this. Know what? Don't play dumb. It doesn't suit you. Silence. Long and cold. When? He asked finally. Tomorrow. Noon. The house. I'll be there. Bring Jennifer. Why? Because she's part of this too. He hung up. I sat there, folder in my lap. Tomorrow. Noon. This was it. The moment I'd been planning for, working toward, and I was ready. I didn't sleep that night. Sat in the kitchen, drinking coffee, going over the plan. Everything had to be perfect. Timing, execution, no mistakes. At 6 a.m., I started setting up. Moved furniture in the living room, created space, put chairs facing the couch, like an intervention or an interrogation. Set my laptop on the coffee table, pulled up the files, the video from the restaurant, Rick's financial records, everything. Then I made a call. Ed, it's Paul. I need you here tomorrow. Noon. What's going on? I'm confronting Derek. I need a witness. Paul, please, I need this. Silence. Then, okay, I'll be there. Thank you. Next call. Vincent. I need backup. What kind? The quiet kind. Someone who can stand in the corner and look intimidating. He laughed. You're serious. Very. All right, I'll send someone. Noon. My place. Done. I hung up. Kept preparing. By 11 a.m., everything was ready. Ed showed up first, looked around, saw the setup. Jesus, Paul, what are you doing? What I should have done weeks ago. This looks like an ambush. It is. A car pulled up outside. Vincent's guy. Big, shaved head, suit. He came in, didn't say much. Just nodded and stood in the corner. Ed shook his head. This is a bad idea. Maybe, but it's my idea. At 11:58, Derek's truck pulled into the driveway. He and Jennifer got out, walked to the door. I opened it before they could knock. Come in. They stepped inside. Saw Ed, saw Vincent's guy. Stopped. What is this? Derek asked. Sit down. Dad. Sit. Down. They sat. On the couch, across from me. I stayed standing. Looked at them. Derek's face was tight, defensive. Jennifer looked annoyed, like this was beneath her. I'm going to make this simple, I said. I know what you've been doing, all of it. The power of attorney, the title transfer, the loan, the offshore accounts. I have proof. Financial records, video evidence, witness statements, everything. Derek's face went white. Jennifer's eyes widened. I don't know what you're talking about, Derek said. I opened the laptop, turned it around, hit play. The video from the restaurant filled the screen. Derek picking up my phone, going through it. His voice clear as day. He's weak. You saw him tonight. Jennifer's laugh. I'm not splitting that with a bunch of squirrels. I let it play. Let them watch themselves. Their faces on the screen. When it ended, I closed the laptop. Still don't know what I'm talking about? Derek's jaw worked. You recorded us? The restaurant recorded you. I just happened to get a copy. That's illegal. No, it's not. But you know what is illegal. Fraud, forgery, theft, identity theft, wire fraud. Want me to keep going? Jennifer stood up. We're leaving. Sit down. You can't make me. I looked at Vincent's guy. He stepped forward. Not threatening, just present. Jennifer sat. Here's what's going to happen, I said. You're going to sign a document transferring the house back to me. You're going to cancel the loan. You're going to return every dollar you've moved offshore, and you're going to disappear from my life. Or what? Derek asked. Or I go to the police? I file charges. I make this public. Your job, your reputation, your freedom, all of it gone. You wouldn't. Try me. We stared at each other, father and son, across an impossible divide. You have no proof, Jennifer said. That video doesn't prove anything, and the financial records are circumstantial. I pulled out Rick's folder, slid it across the table. Read it. She opened it, flipped through. Her face got paler with every page. Derek grabbed it, read, then threw it on the table. This is bullshit. It's evidence, and it's enough to put you away for 10 years. No jury would convict. Want to bet your life on it? Silence. Ed stepped forward. I have a document prepared. Transfer of title, loan cancellation agreement, return of funds, sign it, and this ends. Don't sign it, and Paul files charges tomorrow morning. This is extortion, Derek said. No, I said. This is justice. Jennifer was crying now, quiet, angry tears. You're our family. How can you do this? You did it first. We were trying to help you. By stealing my house? By planning to lock me away? That's help? She didn't answer. Sign the papers, I said. Derek looked at Jennifer. She shook her head. If we sign this, we lose everything, he said. If you don't, you lose more. He stared at the documents, then at me. You're bluffing. Am I? I pulled out my phone, opened the email app, showed him a draft message, addressed to the police. Subject line, fraud report, Derek and Jennifer Brennan. Attached, the video, Rick's financial records, Martin Pierce's analysis. My finger hovered over the send button. Your choice. Derek's face crumpled. Dad, please don't do this. I'm not doing anything. You did this. You made the choices. You live with the consequences. We'll pay you back. We'll fix it. Just don't send that. Sign the papers. He looked at Jennifer. She was staring at the floor, shaking. Sign them, he said to her. Derek, sign them. Ed put the documents on the table, handed Derek a pen. Derek signed, hand shaking. Jennifer signed too, tears dripping onto the paper. Ed witnessed the signatures, collected the documents. I'll file these tomorrow. I looked at Derek and Jennifer. You have 24 hours to return the funds. After that, I file charges anyway. We can't get it all back that fast, Jennifer said. Then you better work fast. They stood up, walked to the door. Derek stopped, turned back. I hate you. I know. You're not my father anymore. I never was. Not to you. He left, and Jennifer followed. The door closed. I stood there, breathing. Ed put his hand on my shoulder. You did the right thing. Did I? I wasn't sure. Didn't know if I'd ever be sure. But it was done. Vincent's guy left. Ed left. I was alone. I sat down on the couch, stared at the empty room. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. You'll regret this. I deleted it, blocked the number. Then I poured a drink. Sat in Helen's chair, the one by the window. I did it, I said out loud, to her ghost, to the empty house. But I didn't feel victorious, didn't feel satisfied, just tired and sad, because I'd won. But I'd lost, too. My son, my family, whatever relationship we'd had, gone, and I'd never get it back. The next morning, Ed called. The title transfer went through. House is back in your name. Good. Derek's lawyer called. They want to negotiate. There's nothing to negotiate. They're claiming duress, saying you forced them to sign under threat. I have witnesses that say otherwise. I know, but they are going to fight this. Let them. I have the documents, the proof. They'll lose. Maybe, but it'll get ugly. It's already ugly. He sighed. All right, I'll handle it. Thanks, Ed. I hung up, sat there, thinking. Derek wasn't going to let this go. He'd fight, claw, try to find a way to flip this back on me. I needed to stay ahead of him. I called Rick. Did they return the money? Some of it, about half. The rest is still offshore. They're stalling. Can you trace it? I'm trying, but it's buried deep. Keep looking. It'll cost more. I don't care. Find it. I spent the rest of the day organizing, making sure everything was documented. Everything was backed up. Emails, financial records, videos, witness statements. I made copies, stored them in different places. Cloud storage, flash drives, Ed's office. If Derek tried to destroy evidence, he'd fail. It was everywhere. That night I got another text. Unknown number. This isn't over. I didn't respond. Just screenshotted it. Sent it to Ed. He called immediately. You need to file a restraining order. Not yet. Paul, they're threatening you. Let them. I'm not scared. You should be. I've been through worse. He didn't argue, just said be careful and hung up. I sat in the dark, waiting for what I didn't know. But something was coming. I could feel it. At 2 a.m., my security alarm went off. I grabbed my phone, checked the cameras. Someone was in the backyard, moving toward the house. I called 911, Grabbed the bat I kept by the bed, waited. The back door rattled, someone trying to force it open. I heard sirens, distant but getting closer. The rattling stopped. Footsteps running, a car door, engine, driving away. Police arrived 5 minutes later, searched the yard, found nothing, no damage, no evidence. But they took my statement, told me to call if it happened again. I knew who it was, Derek, or someone he'd sent, trying to scare me, intimidate me. It didn't work. The next day I installed better locks, motion sensors, floodlights, turned my house into a fortress, and waited. 3 days later, Rick called. I found the rest of the money. Where? Cayman Islands, account under a shell corporation. Jennifer's name is on the paperwork, but it's buried under 3 layers of holding companies. Can you get it back? Not easily. You'd need a court order. International cooperation. Could take years. What if I went public? Exposed it? That might work. Embarrass them into returning it, but it could backfire. Make you look vindictive. I thought about it. Do it anyway. You sure? I'm sure. He put together a report. Detailed, professional, laid out everything. I sent it to a local news outlet. Investigative reporter I'd seen do stories on financial fraud. She called me the next day. Mr. Brennan, I got your email. This is quite a story. Can you use it? Maybe, but I need to verify everything. Can you provide documentation? I can provide everything. We set up a meeting. I brought her the files, walked her through it, the fraud, the theft, the offshore accounts. She took notes, asked questions, didn't commit. But 2 weeks later, the story ran. Front page, local paper, online too. Father battles son over alleged elder fraud. It laid out everything. The forged power of attorney, the stolen house, the hidden money. Quoted me. Quoted Derek's lawyer. Presented both sides. But the facts spoke for themselves. Within hours, it was everywhere. Social media, news aggregators, national outlets picking it up. Derek's phone must have been ringing off the hook. Mine too. Reporters, friends, people I hadn't talked to in years. I ignored most of them, gave one interview, TV station, short, to the point. I just want what's mine, and I want my son to face the consequences of his actions. Simple, clean. The public ate it up. Derek became the villain, the ungrateful son who tried to steal from his aging father. Jennifer's yoga studio lost clients. Derek's company put him on leave. Their reputation collapsed. Exactly what I wanted. But it didn't feel good, didn't feel like winning, just felt empty. A week later, Derek called. First time since the confrontation. You destroyed us. You destroyed yourselves. We're losing everything, our jobs, our friends, everything. Good. How can you say that? We're your family. Silence. I didn't mean it like that, he said finally. Yes, you did. Dad. Don't call me that. You lost the right. I hung up. Deleted his number. Changed mine the next day. Ed handled all communication after that. Legal stuff, financial stuff. I didn't want to hear Derek's voice again. Didn't want to see his face. 2 months later, the money came back. All of it. Transferred into my account with a lawyer's note. Settlement agreement. All claims released. I read it. Signed it. Sent it back. It was over. The house was mine. The money was mine. My life was mine. And Derek and Jennifer were gone. Out of my life, probably out of state by now. I sat in my kitchen, the same kitchen where this all started, looked at the empty chair across from me, Helen's chair. I did it, I said. I won. But the chair stayed empty, and the house felt bigger than ever.